Ladies and gentlemen, long time no see. Welcome back to some more videos. Today, I want to do a very chill video talking about Granblue Fantasy Versus, the game that I am dying to know more about and I'm dying to see more of. So today we're going to be taking a look at some of the bios for the characters. I thought this would be a pretty fun video, taking a look at the characters that are already in Granblue Fighters or Fantasy Versus. I keep saying fighters for some reason. And also speculate as to who possibly could be making it into Granblue Fighters. I did it again. Granblue Fantasy Versus, I have a couple that I would love to have in, and I would like to share that with you guys, of course. So let's take a look at the actual website that they have compiled and kind of organized for all the people that are interested in Granblue Fantasy Versus. I'll be linking this website in the description down below. But for the most part, let's actually take a look at this website. This is the website that they have compiled together. When you first go into it, of course, you get to be greeted by this option where you either want to have the music on for the Granblue Fantasy Versus theme, pretty much, if you want it to be on or off. We're going to turn it off just because we already have our own music. And you get greeted with this nice mini-tage video in the background with all the organized, trailers that they've already released. They're all in Japanese for right now. No word on anything like English dub or anything North America related. We do know that the page is translated into English. You can choose between Japanese and English, which is awesome. They're always thinking about their English audience. So that is fantastic. I'm really excited. And I'm really hoping that the Japanese version of this game, because you better believe it's going to be coming out in Japan way before America. So I'm hoping that they will pull a Granblue Fantasy mobile game and they will actually translate everything into English without actually needing the North American version of it. So that would be fantastic. Here's the page that I actually wanted to get into the most. Of course, it's the characters. Now, I've seen a little bit of the actual Granblue Fantasy anime, and it's not great by all means, but it's at least something for you to get introduced into the Granblue Fantasy universe. That's what I did, and I'm currently playing the game, and I'm really excited to be seeing what other characters can get into the roster of this game. But for the most part, we have 6 characters, as you see right here. It's Gran, Catalina, Charlotta, Lancelot, Faerie, and Lewayne. So far, the only ones that I really know of is Catalina and Gran. And Faerie, maybe a little bit, because some of my friends have told me a little bit about her. But for the most part, let's take a look at each and everyone's bios. So Gran, just to give you a little bit of a summary, this is what basically it explains to you in pretty short detail. But for the most part, it's this guy, it's a main character, and he has a dad that ventured out, left his family behind, and now he sent him a letter way down in the future, and he said, oh my god, the adventure was amazing, basically teasing him, saying, hey, I had a lot of fun. You should have fun too, come on over. So basically Gran sets off into this adventure, and he meets a whole bunch of different people. He meets Lyria, and Lyria, which is the blue-haired girl, Gran actually dies, spoiler alert, but you should know this if you guys don't already. And then Lyria gives him half of her heart, basically, and now they're eternally connected to each other. One cannot live without the other. So that's how it goes. And Lyria is this old uber powerful spirit summoner that can summon a whole bunch of crazy and talk to and control spirits. So that's Gran, and he has a sword and he has armor, and he's the main character. Lewayne is the newest addition here. I don't know anything about Lewayne, so let's actually read his bio. Might just be in time to bust out a few formations that knocked them all dead back home. A free spirit who was all about his part-time job, good gab sesh with the Gab sesh? What is a gab sesh? With the boys and a dash of adventure every now and then, and that all changed when Catalina visited the restaurant where he worked. It was an infatuation at first sight. Oh. Okay, I see you, boy. I see you. All right, sounds good. Determined to follow her, he quit his job and began a new life as the cook on Grand crew. Oh, that's something I haven't gotten into the story yet. So he's the cook? He's the Sanji? I didn't know that. Okay. He's a fair and hard with a dagger, but with his buddies Elsam and Tomoe there to run interference and baffle opponents, he can really ruin an enemy's day. Probably. All right, interesting character. I did not know that, to be honest. I didn't know he was a cook, or he was the cook for the crew on there. Really reminds me a lot of One Piece, to be honest. But you know who's not a joke character? My freaking girl, Catalina. A lot of people are really excited for this character. And she is, I know a little bit about her as well. She's definitely from the show. So basically she's a goody two-shoes knight. Oh my god, I'm so proud. Justice, oh Sagi. And all of a sudden she saw all the horrible experiments being done on Lyria, which is that little blue-haired girl that's with Gran and split her life in half with him. So saw all these horrible experiments. She said, to hell with this. Escaped with Lyria, and now she ran into Gran, and now she just protects Lyria and protects her friends. So she is very much gonna be an interesting character to play with. I'm very interested in playing her. She's gonna be a very Mitsuru type character, and I think her voice actress is Mitsuru actually, which is very appropriate for the character. But she's a really cool looking knight. She's she's got the cape, she's got the nice color scheme going, the long hair, the blonde, the rapier. Everything looks great on this character. Very well designed and such, but for the most part, she's gonna be an incredibly cool character to play. Charlotta is not a character that I know about, actually. This is a new character to me. I saw her in the trailer, I'm like, damn, what is this character? So, I shall show you why I was chosen as the captain of the Lumia Order of Holy Knights. So she is a captain. Look at her. She reminds me of S with the big old sword and the small body stature. But she's got a ginormous crown. A Harvard Knight who serves as the captain of the Lumio Order of Holy Knights. Strict with herself, but kind to others, she's earned the trust of all her comrades and possesses superlative martial skills. I'm guessing she's got skills, basically. That's all I'm gonna say about that. A shining blade nearly as the same size as its wielder, easily felling monsters that are 10 times her size. Pretty cool, yeah, so she reminds me a lot of S. She's probably going to be a more of a rushdown character, I feel like, just because, you know, with her archetype of characters, the small body characters, reminds me a lot of Jubei, of Yoda from Soul Calibur 4, just, you know, the small, but even like Chong, I think his name is Chong or Choi, I can't remember, from King of Fighters, which is a very rushdown heavy character in your face, and I feel like she's going to be the exact same. So we'll see what happens, but she seems like a very interesting character with all the spinny moves that she's got. She's got a whole bunch of uppercuts as well. Sword users, gotta love them, you know. Next up is Lancelot, and Lancelot is 100% a character that I think a lot of people are gonna be liking, just based on his design. Look at his armor, look at his weapons, look at his stance, look at his hair, look at his eyes, look at his face. A lot of people are gonna be falling all over him. He reminds me a lot of Seth, actually. Just, I don't know. He's probably not going to be as edgy as Seth, but he reminds me of Seth, gameplay-wise too. A dual-wielding master swordsman who serves as the captain of the Order of the White Dragons of Fandrash Kingdom. I don't know if I said that right. I don't know. If danger would rear its ugly head in the kingdom he so loves, he would risk both life and limb to see it defeated. Despite this, he can never seem to keep his room clean. Sounds like me, to be honest. He rushes across the battlefield at a blinding speed, a flurry of shining crystalline slashes. Those who set eyes on his fighting style immediately recognize why he was made captain of his order. Already sounding like a freaking badass. So definitely this is going to be a very popular character, and I'm actually pretty interested in the character as well. Everything just looks really cool with this guy. I cannot ignore the fact that his name is Lancelot. I love Lancelot, just in, you know, King Arthur's legend. And of course, the character that I'm mostly interested in as a main, Faerie. Faerie is an interesting character. I know a little bit about her. She's basically Gran's like aunt, dead aunt. She's a ghost. But she's a ghost of a 15-year-old because that's when she died. She's older, and there's a huge debate as to, oh, is she young, or is she young even though she's lived for such a long time? It's like, oh, she died as a 15-year-old, therefore she's a 15-year-old. I don't know. I just like whip characters and characters that are cool, and she's looking really, really cool. So anyways, you're going to admit defeat so soon? I have no use for untrained pets. Oh God. Whew. All right, what a personality, huh? On the mist-shrouded isle, she became a spirit at the moment of her death. This grim transformation occurred while she was waiting for her frail sister to return home, a period that had lasted well past her death. At Gran and Lyria's behest, she sets out on a journey to discover the whereabouts of her now-grown sibling. In addition to the crack of her whip, she fights with faithful bites of her ghostly pets, overwhelming her opponents with phantasmagoric assaults. So it's pretty cool. I think she's going to be a very fun character. From what I see, she's going to have a projectile. She's going to have long range normal. She's going to have all sorts of projectiles consisting of her animals, or her ghost animals, which is going to be really, really cool. So far out of everybody's gameplay, the one that interests me the most is definitely Lancelot and Faerie. Since we only have 6 characters right now, either they're gonna be rolling out a whole bunch of different trailers regarding other characters and such, or there's gonna be a very small roster for the time being. I'm gonna be adding more in the future, similar to how they did in Killer Instinct. Let's just say, just for an example. We'll see what happens, but for the most part, the character I'm definitely interested in right now is Faerie and Lancelot. The characters I want in there is, of course, my girl. My girl. And
I've heard people say that.
And of course, how could you forget about Anyways, what do you think about these characters and so far how the roster is looking up for Granblue Fantasy Versus? And when do you think we're going to be getting our next Granblue Fantasy Versus trailer? I know that last time people were warning me that there was an anniversary going on for Granblue Fantasy, so we got the second trailer then. I have no idea when they could be announcing the third trailer, or maybe even announcing more characters or announcing a release date. But you better believe that I'm going to be covering it. Let me know who you guys want to have in Granblue Fantasy Versus. Let's go in the comment section down below, and I'll even make a video about it just to do some research and kind of get me acquainted with these characters that you guys want in. So anyways, thank you all for watching. I will give you guys the whole YouTube spiel now. Follow me on Twitter if you guys want to know anything about me or the channel, and of course subscribe to the channel for more Granblue Fantasy Versus. I'm going to be covering this game heavily, of course. Like the video if you guys did. I'll do more of these. These are actually pretty fun to do. And of course, stay awesome. Take it easy, everybody. We'll see you guys in the next one.